In a world full of dark lords and kings with cursed swords, there's one character no one truly understands. And every time he appears, people ask the same question. Who the hell is Tom Bombadil? Was he a god, a spirit, or something even older? Tom isn't just some funny man in yellow boots. This is the biggest mystery in all of Tolkien's world, and Tolkien never gave us a clear answer. He left it for us to speculate about. If you think Tom is just comic relief, you're about to change your mind because we'll count down the 15 facts you didn't know about Tom Bombadil. No swords or spells, just singing. When the hobbits got trapped by Old Man Willow, Frodo shouted for help. And Tom Bombadil appeared, casually singing the tree into submission. You let them out again, Old Man Willow. In a world where wizards use staffs and kings carry ancient blades, Tom Bombadil just tells the forest to behave, like a dad scolding his garden. His power isn't flashy. It's not even violent, but it's absolute. And honestly, I find that to be scarier than casting fireballs. Bombadil doesn't just live in the forest. He lives in a little house with flowers, a talking river wife, and a front door that always stays open. And it's right next to the Barrow-downs, one of the creepiest, most haunted places in all of Middle-earth. Why isn't his house ever attacked? Why don't the Whites ever cross the boundary? Because they can't. The forest listens to him. The shadows stop where his garden begins. That cottage? It's more impenetrable than Helm's Deep. The Ents are ancient. The Malorn trees of Lothlorien are magical. But even they don't act like the trees near Tom's home. He speaks, and they react. He sings, and they move. It's not stated outright in the books, but it's heavily implied. Tom Bombadil has control over the oldest living things in Middle-earth. Old Man Willow is powerful enough to crush hobbits and trap travelers. Yet, he listens to Tom like a guilty schoolboy. That's not normal. It's not nature magic. That's something deeper. Tolkien was very clear on this point. He is not an Istar, not one of the Valar, not a human, nor elf, nor dwarf. Okay, then what is he? That's the point. He doesn't fit. Every creature in Middle-earth belongs to a category. Even dragons have a role. But Tom breaks the rules. He has no beginning, no race, no purpose. He just is. And honestly, in a world built on bloodlines and destinies, that makes him the biggest wild card of all. Tom Bombadil is the only being in Middle-earth who has power and doesn't care about it. He doesn't take the ring, he doesn't fight wars, he doesn't want a throne. And in that, he might be Tolkien's ultimate counterpoint to Sauron, where Sauron represents the obsession with domination and control. Bombadil is about letting go. Tolkien once wrote that Tom is a reminder of things not affected by the Great Wars, a piece of the world that stays innocent because it doesn't try to own anything, and maybe that's the point. The one who doesn't want power is the only one who can truly handle it. If you enjoyed this, be careful, because the last person who didn't like and subscribe was found stuck inside a willow tree, humming Bombadil's song on loop for 3 days straight. No, that's not a joke. Tolkien once wrote that Tom was the eldest. Not the oldest man, not the oldest elf. The eldest being in existence. When the elves first woke up, Tom was already there. He even says it himself. Tom was here before the rivers and the trees. So how does that work? Middle-earth was created by a great song from the gods, the Ainur. That means the world had a beginning, but Tom seems to exist outside that beginning. Some fans believe he might be a personification of the music itself, like the beat of the world turned into a person who wears yellow boots and sings to mushrooms. It's either beautiful or terrifying. We all remember that scene in The Fellowship of the Ring when Frodo puts on the ring and turns invisible. It works on hobbits, men, elves, even Gollum. But when Tom Bombadil puts it on, nothing happens. He doesn't turn invisible. He laughs, he flips the ring in the air and makes it disappear, then pulls it out of thin air and hands it back like it's a coin trick. This isn't a magic-resistant cloak. This is something else entirely. The ring has power over everything it touches, except Tom. That makes him the only known creature in the legendarium who is fully immune to it. Not resistant, not strong-willed, immune. Even Gandalf didn't know what to make of it. Here's the weird part. Tom Bombadil could possibly have stood against Sauron. Gandalf says it himself. If the ring was brought to Tom's land, it would be safe for a while. but Sauron could grow stronger and eventually crush all free peoples. So, why didn't they give the ring to Tom? Because he wouldn't care. Tom is powerful but detached. He doesn't try to rule. He doesn't even try to help. He just lives in his forest, sings to trees, and keeps Goldberry happy. Power means nothing to Tom Bombadil, and that's exactly what makes him so dangerous when he doesn't play the game. That's why someone like Sauron, who only plays the game, couldn't beat him in a one-on-one. But that's also why the Free Peoples didn't trust him with the fate of the world. This might sound fake, but it's true. Tom Bombadil was a Dutch doll Tolkien's kids used to play with. His wife Edith made a blue coat and yellow boots for it. The doll was lost one day, and Tolkien wrote a poem to explain where it went. The Adventures of Tom Bombadil. Yes, one of the most mysterious figures in Middle-earth started as a missing toy. Later, Tolkien wrote him into The Lord of the Rings and gave him cosmic-level powers, unknowable origin, and philosophical depth. What started as a children's poem became one of the biggest mysteries in the legendarium. Even Tolkien admitted, Tom Bombadil is not an important person to the narrative. Then again, he also said, he represents something I feel is important, though I would not be prepared to analyze it. So yeah, good luck figuring that out. Now, this is where it gets trippy. Some Tolkien scholars believe that Tom Bombadil is a personification of Arda, the land, the hills, the rivers, the trees. In that view, Tom is not just in the forest. He is the forest. And this might explain why his power is limited to his borders. Step outside the old forest and his magic no longer works. But inside it, he can control weather, charm ancient trees, and literally stop barrow-wights mid-haunt by singing them into silence. Tolkien himself said that Tom is a spirit of the vanishing Oxford and Berkshire countryside. So imagine that. He's not a wizard, not a god, not a man. He's the soul of the land, wearing boots and humming to himself while evil devours the world outside. Seriously, read his lines out loud. Tom Bombadil doesn't talk like elves, dwarves, or men. He sings, he rhymes, he chants. Almost every sentence out of his mouth is some weird musical riddle. Even Gandalf talks normally, but Tom? He sounds like he's always in the middle of a poem. His songs aren't just for fun. They have power. He sings to wake up trees, banish ancient spirits, and even calm down Frodo after he's been traumatized by the ring. His voice bends the world around him, but only within his forest. It's not magic the way elves or wizards use it. It's more like Tom is rewriting the story as he goes, singing it into reality. Tom doesn't just live in the forest, he's trapped in his own moment. Frodo asks him, "Who are you, master?" And Tom replies, "Don't you know my name yet?" That's the only answer. He has no origin, no known birth, and no arc. And while everyone else is aging, changing, or fading, Tom just stays the same. He doesn't care about the outside world because he doesn't belong to it. Time flows differently for him. He's like a rock in a river. The water moves, but he doesn't. Tolkien described him as a being that existed within the story, but also outside the story. He's aware of the narrative and possibly unbound by it. It's kind of like if Winnie the Pooh had the powers of Dr. Manhattan. The Old Forest isn't just home. It's his domain. Inside it, Tom is invincible. Nothing evil can touch him. He walks past wights and willows like they're just bad weather. He literally commands them. The forest seems to react to his moods, calming down when he laughs, darkening when he's serious. But the moment you leave that bubble, his powers stop. That's why Elrond says he is his own master, but he cannot be trusted with power beyond his borders. It's not that he's untrustworthy, it's that he doesn't care about power or fate. He lives fully in the now. Think of him like a lighthouse, strong, unmovable, but rooted to one place. He can guide you for a while, but he's not coming with you. Middle-earth isn't forever. One day it all ends. Tolkien actually described it: a final war, a second darkness. The Valar return, Morgoth breaks free, and the world is unmade in fire and ruin. Elves, men, dwarves, all gone? But Tom Bombadil might still be there. In Tolkien's own words, Bombadil is a reminder of things that have no part in the war. He stands outside the story, outside fate, untouched by the power of evil, or even the need to fight it. He doesn't rise to battle, he doesn't flee, he just stays. And when the last sword falls, when the final light goes out, Tom might still be walking his forest, humming a tune only he remembers. Not because he's stronger than the gods, but because he's not playing their game. This is the big one, the question everyone asks: who is Tom Bombadil really? An Ainu, a Maya, the music, Arda itself, or even Iluvatar in disguise? Tolkien's answer: even in a mythical age, there must be some mysteries left. Some things that have no explanation. That's it. Tom Bombadil exists because he shouldn't. He's a paradox. A pocket of untouched peace in a world full of war. A character that breaks the rules of storytelling on purpose. He's not there to be solved. He's there to remind you that not everything needs to be, and that's what makes him so powerful. But what if that mystery wasn't peaceful? You're going to want to see the next video. What if there was something very wrong about Tom Bombadil? And Sauron knew it. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because the last guy who didn't, he wandered into the barrow-downs and started hearing poetry in the dark. Last we heard, he was still rhyming and still trapped. Please don't be that guy.